So in today's video, we're showing the new Legends Tower mode. I guess is what, part 2? I guess, yeah, we'll call it part 2. This is obviously a long video, except this time I've actually shortened it down. The last one was like over an hour long, but I just like straight recorded that live. This one what I've done here, I've done a little bit different, right? So I'll show you the template I use here. I'll explain basically how I did it, sort of thing. I would sped up the fights to, I think I've got it at 10 times speed. So, because the fighting you don't really need to see, it's just more of the team builds. Now, I will say this one is going to require probably a lot of assistance, I'd say, on certain stages, right? So this one here isn't actually too bad. Charlotte, as you can see, just pretty much destroys all of it. Like, I literally could just bring Charlotte and destroy it all. But that's purely because how good his platinum equipment is, right? So I'll have a video up for that in a minute. Probably should be up the same, pretty much the same time as this video goes up. But yeah, his platinum equipment is really good, which, you know, as you can see, carries in the first 2 stages here. Now, the way they've done the tower is a little bit different, so it's a bit weird, actually. So you go back to, you know, first units again, so first anniversary units, and then you work your way up, except this time they've made it a little bit harder, and there's only 2 stages to each, right? So this is the last stage for the first anniversary units, and it wasn't too bad. If I didn't have Charlotte, it'd take a lot longer to do, just because, you know, the first anniversary units weren't really too, you know, obviously too power crept. So it made things a lot harder, but, you know, Charlotte just pretty much carries this stage here. There is a stage coming up, which I'll talk about in a minute, which I did struggle with, not beating it, but beating it within the timer count. Because if you get within the certain timer count, you obviously get more rewards. As we'll see here, I think it's like, was it clear within a certain amount of time count, was it? Yeah, 120, 130, 140, yeah. So, this team here, I think, yeah, so this is the second anniversary from this point onwards. So, this wasn't too bad. I basically run just, you know, full Sun family team. I think another thing which made things a lot harder was his, like, restrictions. So, if I remember correctly, the second anniversary had Vegeta clan restricted, so I was like, oh, I'll just bring, you know, I'll just bring Goku in that. So, it was good for this part. You know, I cleared this, you know, first shot. But the next stage after this is where things get a little bit more trickier in terms of getting more damage done. And I think I only just got the damage done on the other one. I was going to include all my failed attempts. You know, like I said, I still beat the event. Like, beat the stage. I just didn't get it within the timer count. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter too much, I would say, because you only get an extra, what, is a 9 CC. But, you know, if you've watched my videos before, I always say, you know, every little bit of CC counts. So, this is the stage here. I did speed it up because I forgot the time I recorded the first part. But you can see the units are bringing here. Vegeta actually helped out a lot more than I thought. Carefully did pretty good with her equipments. So, with these equipments, you want to make sure you get, like, heavy hitting sort of things, right? Like, heavy hitting attacks. Defense, they don't really hit too hard, except you get, like, the special move and that. But other than that, it's pretty easy. It's just the timing, like how quick you got to do it. So I think it actually shows here that I just got the last one. Yeah, so as you can see, I only just got it then. So that was probably the only real tricky stage. There was another one later on. I think it was on the 7th anniversary one. There's a full team there. I can help with equipment stat as well, if you guys want. Just let me know about that. So this is the 3rd anniversary onwards, so this one's pretty easy. So another thing as well, I do want to mention with some of these. You know, I've seen a lot of people say, like, oh, I got all these units forward inside. Which, don't get me wrong, that does help out a lot. But one of the big things, to me, that helps out even more is Arts Boost, right? So, you'll see here with UI Goku is obviously max Arts Boost. Which means he's going to get more stats boost. But he's also going to get, what do they call it? Heavy hit damage or something like that? I can't remember what they call it, but it's basically like guaranteed crits, but like crits on steroids sort of thing. So, to me, that does more damage than the 14 stars. Like I said, obviously it does help their 14 side, but the Arts boosting helps out a lot more. Which is why I say a fair bit, you know, try and Arts boost units that are going to help out in the future. Obviously, I didn't know some of these are going to help out. You know, like, for example, Charlotte would probably be a good one to Arts boost. You know, if you're brand new to the game, it'd be pretty good. Obviously, the new anniversary units would be good as well. But it does help out in these sort of events here. It doesn't really help out in PvP too much, obviously. But yeah, mainly these events here, as you'll see later on, like I think from stage the 5th anniversary onwards, I had a few more units that were fully Arts boosted, so I just like easily destroyed the stages. So it may not seem like at the time it's going to be a big deal, but as you can see, it's probably a bit too hard because I have sped it up. But like, UI Goku just absolutely destroys. You know, just because he gets a heavy hit damage and that. I think it's called heavy hit damage, I can't remember what it's called now. But yeah, like I said, these stages weren't too bad. Gogeta did pretty good actually, but yeah, he's recently got a Zenkai, so his stats now still pretty good. But the main reason why I said like the first and the second anniversary stages are probably the hardest is just because they don't really hit too hard. Unless you got Charlotte's Platinum equipment, you know, then the first is easy. But other than that, it does take quite a fair bit to do it with. Because I didn't try it with Charlotte to start with, like, oh, you know, I shouldn't need him, sort of thing. But yeah, I definitely needed him. I mean, I could have done it still. It just would have taken a lot longer, and I'm not sure about the time requirement. As you can see here, I couldn't remember the deployment conditions, but I think it was Super Saiyan God, so blue, yeah, blue. I couldn't bring, so bit of a struggle there, but Gogeta did pretty good here with obviously his platinum equipment as well. Mainly carried him with all the extra damage in that. But like I said, some of these aren't too bad, depending on who you bring. But yeah, mainly ones that get recent boosts, like you see the massive impact it does in these events. But I'm assuming we could see another Legends Tower for Part 3. I'm assuming. I could be wrong, but the only bad thing I will say about this event is it does take quite a long time. Like, I think, if I remember correctly, from all these clips I recorded, it took me like over 77 minutes all up. So it's quite a heavy grind. You don't have to do it straight away, obviously, but you know, obviously the quicker the better, I guess. But it doesn't really matter too much, because this event will be up probably for, like I said, all up to Part 3. So even if you did like a few stages a day, you know, sort of just chip away at it. But yeah, like I said, that's why I thought I'd speed this video up, because the last one was like over an hour long. But what I'll do in this one as well, I'll do chapters as well, like I did with the last one, so it's easier if, oh yeah, I got stuck on the second stage, you jump to that one, sort of thing. But at the same time, I do think a few people might struggle with some of these stages. I think the same stage I struggled on, a lot of people struggled on that one as well, just to get the time requirement. And then probably the 7th anniversary one, because there's a diamond team you gotta try and beat, and it's I mean, I got it in the second run, because I like fully locked in for it, but we'll see when we get up to it. What are we up to now? Is it 5th anniversary? I think it's 5th, or was it 4th? I can't remember what year, what year we're at here. Yeah, I don't remember this one being too difficult. It was a little bit annoying, I think, if I remember correctly, this stage, but it wasn't too bad overall. That's the thing, like, I think from this point onwards, it wasn't hard to beat, it was just a little bit more annoying to do. But obviously Regular Goku's going to clutch up here a lot more. Just because you're recent Zenkai, stuff like that. What other stages? I don't think I struggled at any other stages. I think it was just the 2. But even the diamond stage I didn't really struggle on. I just didn't get the time requirement again. But like, once I fully locked in, I use the same units and I bet it pretty easily. Okay, keep going. Yeah, we are up to the 5th. I thought so. It's been a while since I got my units correct in the history. Now I would have clicked on it. Yeah. I can't actually believe it's been that long already since we have Beast Gohan. I remember it feels like yesterday he got released, that blue one. Well, not yesterday, but you know what I mean. It feels like fairly recent still. Did I struggle on this one? No, I think Vegeta Blue carried most of this. Yeah, we destroyed fairly easily. But like I said, you know, you can do these without doing the full clears. I don't think there's any missions for it. I don't remember. I don't think so, but I don't think you have to like fully clear it, 'cause I didn't get anything pop up, so I'm assuming there wasn't any missions. So you don't have to worry about the ones I'm doing here. I'm just showing that this team I got can get it done, sort of thing. And I think you get a total of 3. Is it 300 or 500 CC? Should be 500, 'cause I think you get 50 per one. I think one of them get 100 CC. So maybe it's smaller, but you get a fair decent one. So I think this one here, from this one onwards, this full team I got here, I didn't even realize it's fully arse boosted. Was it? Yeah, fully art specific. So you'll see the difference in damage here in a minute. Yes, they're all 14 side except for Gogeta Blue, but you'll see the difference of the heavy attack and all that sort of stuff. Which, like I said, to me, does a lot more damage than, what do you call it, the 14 stars? Yeah, heavy attack S. I thought it was called heavy something. But as you can see, it just, fully melts away at the opponent's ears. It is very helpful, the Ask Boost, but it is... I'd say it's limited. I mean, now you can Ask Boost a fair bit of units here. I'm a bit lazy. I could try and get more units done. But yeah, like, as you can see, it helps in these PvE events quite a fair bit. I think you do get... I think the bonus stats do cross over to PvP. I just don't think you get the heavy attack. Which isn't that big of a deal. But... Or maybe they added it in because of the new Dynamic Battles update. Maybe they decided to bring it in. I doubt it because I would have talked about it on the live stream, but... so I got that one done. Was this next stage annoying? I feel like another one was annoying coming up. Oh, this one was... Nah, well, a little bit. Actually, no, it was annoying because I didn't realize how hard Super 17 hit. He hit me fairly good. I nearly actually died on the first attempt here. We beat it still, but I didn't expect him to hit that hard because other stages weren't too bad in terms of attack. I think we'll see it when we get up to the part. Like I said, it is sped up, so it should be out fairly quickly. I think Gogeta died. I think. Did we not get it? I thought we got attacked. Where was it? Yeah. Yeah, we nearly died on the end there. I thought it was coming up. I mean, it wasn't quite annoying. I probably should have been a little bit more careful. I just didn't expect him to hit that hard. Because obviously you don't know exactly how, the stats and that. Like some, for example, like Dokkan, you can go on like certain websites and it shows you, yeah, this boss at this stage does this much damage. Where Legends, we don't really have that information. But right, now up to the last two stages here, which aren't too bad, I would say. Except, well, actually, the first stage here was a lot harder to do. So as you can see, you probably could bring like a full diamond team, to be honest. I think that could work out fairly well. Also, bring the anniversary units just to show, like, if you have some of these, you can actually do it fairly easily. Well, I guess there's a little spoiler of my summon videos of how my summons went. Did I include the part? I hope I included the right part because there's 2 clips here. But obviously with this one, get rid of... I'm going to get the name wrong again, confused. Ku or Do? I think it's Ku. Get rid of him first because the Paralyze is just it's super annoying. So the faster you get rid of him, the better. And then try and save your Rising... Well, you can use your Rising Rush on him, but try and save your Rising Rushes for units that you know are going to be annoying, sort of thing. Like I said, he was probably the only annoying one, except on the other stage I was talking about with I had to bring Vegeta Blue. Try and use your Rising Rush as often as possible, just so you can hurry up and speed the battle up, because they are pretty tanky. But this stage here, to be honest, which is obviously the last... This is the last stage here. I thought this was going to be the hardest, and this is pretty simple. I don't think we struggled at all. I think we smashed this out pretty easily. Like I said, this team isn't quite a proper team, obviously. I just sort of bring units that are pretty common. You might see, might be able to help out a fair bit. But by the way, this Kaioken Goku hits super hard. Like, it's pretty insane. I haven't actually used him in like PvP yet. I've been a bit busy getting videos done, wallpapers and that. But he hits super hard, man. And we got the LF here just because I was bored. But yeah, that's all the battles there. Like I said, it wasn't too difficult except for a few stages. But yeah, that's going to be today's video, guys. If you need any more help and stuff like that, just please leave a comment and I'll try and get my best to help you out and guide you, sort of thing. And yeah, if you guys like this video and you want to see more, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you as a win the next one.